Painful exit. Federal Executive Council members mourn late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. President Bola Tinubu congratulates U.S. President-elect. Donald Trump looks forward to strengthening ties between Nigeria and the United States. And Ivory Tower launches learning sites of East-West seed knowledge transfer in line with Renewed Hope Agricultural Initiative. Hello and welcome to the news at 11 on Nta News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Members of the Federal Executive Council under the chairmanship of President Bola Tinubu have honored the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, by postponing the council meeting earlier scheduled for this Wednesday. State House correspondent Musbah Damahab reports on the mood at the council.
It came a tale of a refreshing moment ending in heartbreaking mode. The newly appointed ministers who came for their first attendance arrived into the welcoming hands of the old ones. And council members were set for another round of a brainstorming session. But then, the interesting moment was soon short-lived. Vice President Kashim Shettima announced the decision of the council as directed by the chairman, President Bola Tinubu.
They have suspended the council meeting in honor of the late Chief of Army Staff. May his soul rest in happy. Let's observe 1 minute silence in his honor.
The nation is in mourning. The president and the entire government is in mourning. He was indeed a very resourceful officer who has put in best to fight insurgency in this country, and for the many achievements he has succeeded while serving this great nation.
He was a gallant officer, very, very hardworking. He was indeed a warrior. He has served in so many theaters and have done commendably well. It's a very sad loss for the country. We pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to receive him and to bless him.
We send in our condolences to the family of the deceased and Mr. President, because it's a great loss to this nation.
Major General Taoreed Lagbaja.
Late Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, appointed in June 2023 as the 27th Chief of Army Staff, passed away Tuesday night. Second to die in this capacity in 4 years after late Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attahiru, who died in a plane crash near Kaduna International Airport in 2021. The acting Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, visited the President for situation reports.
Very passionate about Nigeria, and he led the Nigerian Army very well. He was courageous. He was known to be thorough and a professional to the core. So it's a big loss to us.
Just a day before, President Bola Tinubu, in his capacity as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, promoted and decorated the acting Chief of Army Staff to a new rank of Lieutenant General. Now, whether he will be confirmed as the substantive head of the army remains to be seen in the coming days. From the State House, Musbal and Wahab, Nta News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has expressed regrets over the passing of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, after a brief illness at the age of 56 years. A statement from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation indicates that President Tinubu has directed that national flags be flown at half-mast throughout the country for 7 days in honor of the departed Army Chief. He appreciates the services of the departed to the nation and wishes the family the fortitude to bear this great loss. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has a tribute on the late Chief of Army Staff.
To announce that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved payment for the initial 12 MD 530 Foxtrot KU's attack helicopters.
Born on February 28, 1968 in Lobu, Osun State, he attended St. Charles Grammar School and the local authority teachers college before admitted to the Nigerian Defense Academy in 1987 as a member of the 39 regular course. The late Chief of Army Staff was commissioned as Second Lieutenant on September 19, 1992, joining the Nigerian Army Infantry Corps, an alumnus of the prestigious U.S. Army War College. He earned master's degree in strategic studies, demonstrating his dedication to professional growth and excellence in military leadership. He played a pivotal role in numerous internal security operations, including Operation Zaki in Benue State, Lafia Dole in Northeast, Udoka in Southeast, and Operation Forest Sanity across Kaduna and Niger states. He was appointed Chief of Army Staff by President Bola Tinubu on June 19, 2023. Until his death, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja served as Nigeria's 27th Chief of Army Staff. His death marks the second time in 3 years a Chief of Army Staff has died while in office. He is survived by his wife, Maria Biodun Lagbaja, and 2 children. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, Nta News.
Well, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru Abubakar, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, have extended heartfelt condolences to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, the Nigerian Armed Forces, and the family over the demise of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. A statement by the Director of Information and Public Relations, Henshaw Ogubike, describes the death as a great loss. The late Chief of Army Staff contributed in no small measure to the internal security operations across Nigeria and also exhibited a high level of professionalism. He will be greatly missed by the family, the military, and the nation as he served with commitment and dedication. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has expressed shock over the death of Major General Taurid Lagbaja, describing him as a fine officer who gave his all for the territorial security and unity of the country. In a condolence message, Akpabio said the death of the late Chief of Army Staff came at a time his wealth of experience is needed, and his death is a huge loss to the country. He prayed Allah to grant him al-Jannatu Firdaus and his family the fortitude to bear the loss. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has paid a condolence visit to the widow of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, at their Abuja residence. She was accompanied on the visit by wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shetima, and wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, Ogogo Musa. Commiserating with the widow, Maria Lagbaja, the First Lady describes the death of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja as a big loss to the nation, especially at a time the Nigerian Army, under his leadership, was putting everything online to tackle insecurity in the country. She says the late Chief of Army Staff, through his life and contributions, has left worthy legacies that the family and the nation can be proud of. She led a special prayer for the repose of the soul of the departed, while also asking God to strengthen his widow and family at this time of grief. The late Chief of Army Staff passed away at the age of 56 on Tuesday. The recent death of Lieutenant General Tari Lagbaja and the tragic passing of Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru in 2021 underscores the profound sacrifice that comes with the office of the Chief of Army Staff leading the country's defense. As the nation mourns them and other fallen heroes, defense correspondent Olajide Bello reflects on the enduring legacy of Nigeria's indigenous army chief, who since 1966 have shouldered the responsibility of safeguarding and preserving the country's territorial integrity.
You cannot let this nation down. You must go there and do the needful. These powerful words from Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, the 23rd Chief of Army Staff, embodied his unwavering dedication to Nigeria. Yet, like a tragic twist of fate, he did not live to complete the mission he envisioned. In May 2021, Atahiru died in a plane crash while serving his beloved nation. For the Nigerian Army, the phrase "victory comes from God alone" speaks to a higher power, but Atahiru's charge to his men reflects the deep responsibility that rests on the shoulders of the Chief of the Army Staff, especially in times of national crisis where peacekeeping and nation building are paramount. As Nigeria was still recovering from the loss of Atahiru, tragedy struck again just 2 years later. The sudden death of Lieutenant General Tari Lagbaja, the 25th Chief of Army Staff, once again plunged the nation into grief. Known for his quiet strength and professional discipline, Lagbaja's passing is another reminder of the sacrifices that come with military leadership. His tenure, though brief, left a mark on both his colleagues and the country. Since Nigeria's transition to a republic in 1963, 25 indigenous Chiefs of Army Staff have taken up the mantle, guiding the Army through some of the nation's most challenging moments. From General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, who became the first indigenous COAS in 1965, to Major General Yakubu Gowon, who led the nation during the Civil War. The legacy of these leaders is deeply intertwined with Nigeria's history of resilience and survival. Each era brought its unique challenges, from rebuilding after the Civil War in the 1970s to stabilizing the country during military regimes in the 1980s to steering the army towards a democratic future in the 1990s. More recently, the fight against terrorism and insurgency has defined the 21st century leadership of the Nigerian Army, with men like General Tukur Buratai and Lieutenant General Atahiru leading from the front lines. But these leaders did not all complete their journeys. Atahiru's tragic death in 2021 shook the nation, and Lagbaja's sudden passing in 2024 further underscored the heavy toll of military service. Both men, along with others like Major General Aguiyi-Ironsi, who was killed during the 1966 counter-coup, left behind not only a legacy of service but also a deep national mourning. These losses are reminders that the responsibility of defending a nation often comes with profound personal sacrifice. Olajide Bello, Nta News.
Let's turn our attention to other news now. The Senate Committee on Defense has assured the armed forces of its unwavering support towards bringing an end to all forms of security challenges confronting the country. Haruna Mohammed reports that the chairman of the committee, Ahmed Lawan, gave the assurance during an oversight visit to military formations and institutions in Kaduna, including the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji.
Oversight function and budget implementation are vital components of the National Assembly duties. Senate Committee on Defense, led by its chairman Ahmad Ibrahim Lawal, visited the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji. Led by the commandant of the college, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Alaji, straight to the business of the day. They toured facilities of the Center of Leadership and Knowledge and were briefed on the operations of the college with the mandate of training senior and junior commanders of the tri-services.
People come from different parts of the world to come and receive training, and that is a clear testimony of what we do is in the right direction here.
At the Nigerian Defense Academy, The Commandant, Major General John Ochai, conducted the committee through the college, including the simulation center and demonstration by the cadets, a testament to the institution's training quality, producing officers of international.
Armed forces are doing so well, so hard, trying to secure this country for us. But I think there's clearly insufficient provision. We'll work with the executive arm of government.
Committee were also at the Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria with a pledge to resuscitate the complex to produce platforms on other needs of the military and paramilitary. The committee chairman gave his assurance.
Everything here is upside down. Nothing is working as they should. And we feel that time has come to address the issues affecting Daikon.
Established in the year 1964, the visit by the Senate Committee on Defense is a reassurance, especially to the Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria, providing platforms, arms and ammunition for the armed forces, which will go a long way in saving the country's foreign exchange. In Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, Nta News.
The National Assembly Service Commission has approved the appointment of Kamoru Ogunlana as substantive clerk to the National Assembly. The appointment is effective from 2nd February 2025. Mr. Ogunlana is, until his appointment, was a deputy clerk to the National Assembly, takes over from Magaji Tambowal as he proceeds on pre-retirement leave. We'll take a short break, more reports in a moment.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Welcome back. The Office of the National Security Advisor and the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children are working on modalities to return 10 million school children back to school. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Illicit small and light weapons comprise assorted firearms illegally acquired by criminals. Proliferation of these arms tend to amplify terrorism, banditry, secessionist agitation, armed robbery and other violent crimes. Through coordinated internal security operations, some of these criminals are apprehended and charged to court with these weapons as exhibits.
This gathering today serves as both a call to action and an opportunity to reinforce our commitment towards safeguarding Nigeria's security landscape.
It's not limited to small arms.
This workshop reviews the custody of these arms in line with global best practice.
What the center is trying to bring on board is international best practices, where such weapons used for the prosecution or for the commission of heinous crimes are returned to the agency of government. And the only agency of government that has the statutory powers to have the custody of such weapon after judgment is the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons.
The event also highlights the duty of a prosecutor in ensuring forfeited arms do not get back to the wrong hands. The National Center for the Control of Small and Light Weapons, established in 2021, recently destroyed more than 2,000 small and light weapons in Giri, Abuja. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
World leaders, including President Bola Tinubu, have congratulated President-elect Donald Trump on his victory at the U.S. presidential election. President Tinubu looks forward to strengthening the ties between Nigeria and the United States amid complex challenges and opportunities of the contemporary world. The president says together we can foster economic cooperation, promote peace, and address global challenges that affect our citizens. The president, in a statement, says Trump's victory reflects the trust and confidence the American people have placed in his leadership, congratulating them on their commitment to democracy. He believes that given President Trump's experience as the 45th president of the United States from 2017 to 2021, his return to the White House as the 47th president will usher in an era of earnest, beneficial, and reciprocal economic and development partnerships between Africa and the U.S., as he acknowledged the United States' global influence and power. Now, in a world that is virtually driven by technology, how can an African woman be neck-deep in this digital transformation agenda? Gender advocates who are deliberating on this at the ongoing 2024 Africa Women's Conference in Lusaka, Zambia, staunchly emphasize that this is undoubtedly a pathway to meeting global targets for inclusivity in economic development and equal opportunity. Olusheye Adiagbo reports.
While African countries are quite outstanding in digital finance, over 400 million people on the continent, mostly women, still don't have access to digital financial services.
So sing a song for women everywhere.
Important insights of women's digital inclusion informed the theme of this year's conference. Digital advancement harnessing its potential for African women.
About the need for us to have inclusivity, bridge digital gap, particularly as it concerns women, because that is the only way that women can be empowered, truly show this huge potential that is being deposited in them, which is why AWC thought it wise to come and discuss more about digital advancement for women.
Africa as a whole, based on the work at Pan-African Parliament, we are moving together because we've come up with some model laws that are expected to be adopted across the African continent in how we shall handle, this digital space and take the maximum advantage from it.
Separate submissions, including discussions during panel sessions, pinpoint key issues affecting the use of digital finance and how technology will be a catalyst for women's economic empowerment in Africa.
We're hoping that at the end of this program, we'll be able to develop cost-saving and fast-tracking innovations that women can also benefit from and be able to join into the information superhighway.
That many countries that could have been behind, who ignored, the need for women also to access and also advance in technology. Through interactions like these ones, people exchange ideas country by country, and so we use this opportunity like an opportunity to learn.
In the last 8 years, the African Women Conference, an initiative of Helpline Social Support Initiative, a Nigerian-based non-government organization, and Echo's African Initiatives, New York, has been a platform for robust dialogues, betting, productive partnerships, and gender policy options on women and girl child in the region. From Lusaka, Zambia, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
The University of Abuja is launching a learning site of East-West seed knowledge transfer in line with the Renewed Hope Agricultural Initiative. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented at the launch, says the introduction will be making a difference in vegetable production value chain. Ibrahim Belogunda reports.
Transforming Nigeria's vegetable production and market by introducing new varieties, technology and knowledge to educate students, smallholder farmers and researchers on profitable and sustainable inclusive farming techniques and innovations is aimed at changing the vegetable farming narrative for healthier diet and food security. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented by wife of the Vice President, Nana Kashim Shettima, highlights how the program resonates with every home a garden program, while encouraging others to emulate the initiative, which is in line with Renewed Hope agricultural policy as well.
As a government, we always encourage this kind of results
driving partnership that seeks to actualize government policies and programs.
Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja Professor Aisha Sani Mekudi, and Executive Director, East West Seed Knowledge Transfer Foundation, Stuart Morris, said they have trained more than 2,000 farmers in modern vegetable farming in Nigeria, and the collaboration with the University of Abuja will provide more opportunity for students and researchers to key into the project.
It will be a center for learning, innovation, and growth, advancing our collective goals of entrepreneurship, sustainability, and food security.
The main objective of the farm is to expose and train different stakeholders in profitable and sustainable production practices.
Dean Faculty of Agriculture, University of Abuja, Professor Akim Oyerinde, and other speakers highlight how the program can improve vegetable production value chain for more profit and healthier diet for all.
It's not compulsory that all of us must be on farm. So in the concept of value chain, you choose where do you want to belong within the value chain, and you turn it into business and start making money.
The First Lady and other guests launched and toured the University of Abuja learning site. In Abuja, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, Nta News.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has taken a spur-of-the-moment visit to the Lafia City Stadium alongside representatives from a potential contracting firm to discuss plans for a major upgrade of the facilities to modern standards. The proposed renovation aims to enhance the stadium's capacity, infrastructure and amenities, positioning it as a premier sports destination in the country. Among the upgrade plans include expanding the seating capacity to accommodate more spectators and provide more electric atmosphere during events, modernizing them in line with global standards. Governor Sule, in a statement by the head of public relations, Nasarawa State's Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Echiamu, highlighted the importance of investing in sports infrastructure to promote youth development, tourism and economic growth, stressing that the proximity of the states to the Federal Capital Territory is an added economic advantage. The governor assured that the project would be completed within 6 months upon award. The Lafia City Stadium currently holds a capacity crowd of 7,500, and with the current plans for upgrade, the number of spectators' seats could be increased beyond 10,000. The stadium is currently the home venue to 4 major football leagues clubs in Nigeria, namely Nasarawa United, Nasarawa Amazons, Lobi Stars and Basiria FC. With that, we conclude the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.